It was the way it was dealt with, like everyone knew except me. What is that thing?
You're transmitting. You're wired. Bugged.
I'm not wired. I'm not bugged. I'm certainly not transmitting. Do you want to search me?
Still transmitting.
Do you want to investigate further?
I'm sorry.
Stephen. How can we get you to relax?
Ever since Michael's funeral.
I know.
No, you don't know. Michael's death could be related to the deaths of refugees, the deaths of scientists, biochemists, a lot of them, including Morton.
Stop. Stephen, stop. Look, creating the best, most complicated conspiracy theory in the world is not going to keep Michael alive.
Someone broke into this place last night. They looked through my files and then they...
And they won't.
They ate some food, they made a mess, they took a shower.
And how did they break in?
The door wasn't forced, the windows were locked.
I would call that having a key. This is Michael. Didn't he used to have this open house policy? He handed out house keys to practical strangers. He used to drive you crazy, remember? Look, it was probably someone passing by. They mightn't even know Michael's dead.
They looked through my notebooks.
So they were nosy. Well, it looks like I'm not going to get my few moments of madness, am I?
There's something I need to tell you about TIA. There's a potential glitch. It could be serious. Data protection. There's a weakness when large companies stream employee records onto the system. And I need to take a look and test some parameters. And we might have to turn off the alarm just for my entry, and I need ministerial clearance.
Is that really necessary?
Yeah.
We don't want to flag up any doubts.
Well, that's why I want to be able to dip in and out of the system without anyone knowing.
Right.
Caroline, isn't it? Caroline Scott? I'm Stephen Ezard. I represent a group of doctors who work in refugee camps. They've been using the same Hep B vaccine that you've been helping to make.
How do you know my name?
I looked through the Kellerman and Deloitte employee files for someone who was smart, honest, and cared about the world.
Stephen who?
Stephen Ezard. Look, I'm not crazy. I'm not dangerous. We're surrounded by people and security cameras and... It's safe. I just want to ask you a couple of questions about the vaccine.
I just heard the line.
Look, I know this sounds odd, but these are some of the children that we've been inoculating. For their sake, just a couple of questions about the production process.
Look, you've got me wrong. I'm not a scientist or a technician.
What you are is smart and decent, and I need your help.
Look, I've got to get back to work.
Please.
And I don't understand what you're doing looking through confidential files.
Just 5 minutes. I'll help you bag your shopping.
Leave me alone!
saved you some time. I got you some bread, some biscuits, some detergents, some toiletries, some beers, some wine. Oh, and there's a special offer on dog food. So I got 2 large ones. You got the beef and the rabbit last time, so I went for the chicken and the veg. I also got to a government database. The last eco-protest that you went on with your daughter Isabel, the East Midlands Airport, that's listed. Oh, and the library book you got out, the Philip K. Dick novel, Humpty Dumpty in Oakland. Great read. Be 2 weeks overdue. Those children are dying. Everything all right, madam?
Since you worked the line, has the production of Hep B ever changed?
No.
Is it possible that there could be a defective batch?
Will be picked up. There's constant sampling. Everything's heavily monitored, checked, regulated.
No bumps, no hiccups in the last 3 years, nothing at all?
No. Except when the line broke down.
When was that?
About a year and a half ago.
What went wrong?
Something with the electrics. Stopped production.
How long for?
A couple of weeks. Maybe 3. Yeah, 3.
What happened to you?
We got put on other lines.
Close to where you were before?
On the side of the plant.
Did you ever go back to the line to see what was going on in those 3 weeks?
No, the area was cordoned off, sealed. And they have to for hygiene, contamination risk.
But there were technicians working there.
Fixing the line. They wouldn't have been producing vaccine.
Can you remember the date?
My birthday. Got sent home on full pay. Now I want to know everything that's in my file.
Let's move it. Let's go, let's go!
I saw Michael earlier today at the factory. Looked just like him.
At first I kept seeing him everywhere. And there are times when the thought of never seeing him again is overwhelming. I'll never stop missing him. It's so different. If Michael were in your place, he wouldn't think of us as a problem. He wouldn't be looking over his shoulder.
I'm not.
And as lovers, it's so different. Not better or worse, just different.
Well, as in everything. The only thing Michael and I could ever agree on was that we must have had different fathers.
Come on, let's go!
Be careful with Cooper.
He was willing to help before. Where is she?
Yasin, where is she?
What have you done with her?
she's alive. Just tell me she's alive.
My own brother. He'll talk to me. Where is Yazim? You need to explain yourself. I went to your funeral. So did he. He was very upset. You were like a brother to him.
But you knew I wasn't there.
Of course I didn't!
I know that you've been following me. I saw you at the Kellerman Delight plant.
No, I wasn't following you. But I thought I saw you there, but I couldn't believe it because you were dead! Who was in the coffin?
Why were you at Kellerman Deloitte? Tell me she's alive.
You need to explain yourself.
Listen to me. I want answers now. It just doesn't make sense. It's not who he is. I'm alive because I wasn't in the Jeep.
I sort of worked that out.
The driver and the guy we picked up on the road were in it when it got hit. I'm not too sure which parts of who were in my coffin. There wasn't very much left of either of them. There was a pickup truck behind us on the road. Vanished when we slowed down, so I decided to run up to the top of the hill to see if it was following us or not. Idea being that the Jeep would carry on, circle around and come back and get me. Half a mile on, it got blown to pieces. Just a couple of RPGs. Somebody tried to kill me because I was making noise about refugees getting ill and then dying. I decided there and then to be dead and stay dead. I thought I could probably find out more that way.
Did you?
Now you tell me where she is.
Can't do that. You might be tagged or under surveillance. Somebody tried to kill her. I'll tell her that she can come to you. Don't follow me.
What's wrong? Where's Russell?
I don't know.
What happened?
I told you I saw Michael.
Outside the Kellerman Deloitte factory, yeah.
It was him. He's alive. He wasn't in the Jeep.
Why are you saying that?
Because I've just been with him, talking with him, arguing with him.
What's wrong with you?
Yasim, it was him!
I saw body parts. His bracelet was on his wrist.
No, he planted it to make it look like he was dead.
Stop it! Why are you doing this? Why?
I'll take you to him. Go back inside.
Go back inside!
It's not him. It's not Michael. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God.
Who is he? How could you do it? How? You're dead! Stay dead!
What is this place?
Who the are you?
He's my brother.
The dead brother?
Yeah.
Did you invite him to the party as well?
EZ759. No one survives. You get sick and then you die. Just like Nadir.
Nothing is worth what you did. Nothing.
It's a massive cover-up. The drugs companies, aid charities, government organisations, they're all colluding.
That's all you ever see. Never the people around you.
The people around me were dying because of a jab we gave them. And it's not just a few we knew about. There are hundreds. I came in with a group of refugees. They've all had the jab, and one of them is sick. I need you to get a blood sample so we can get it analysed. Come on, it's three of us now working together. What? Say it.
We know someone that we might be able to get the blood sample to. He might help. Cooper. Professor Lawrence Cooper.
Good.
Please don't tell him.
Unless you tell him, I will lose you. You'll go back to him.
Stop it. You don't know that.
He doesn't know what? What's the problem?
Russell, Nadir's stepfather. Going off like that, he didn't ask about you. Wasn't interested. Wasn't curious. Didn't feel right.
We've lost his trust.
Thank you. We've been worried sick about you. You just disappeared. You're high profile now, Stephen. You could have been kidnapped by terrorists or criminals out to target TIA.
How did you know where I was?
Very basic procedure. Posted your ID out in various systems. You flagged up entering the transport network. Cameras took over, followed you, and you left. What were you doing at a train station?
I was saying goodbye to someone.
You know, I really envy your life sometimes. The world of pure research. Not having to get mixed up in this messy, complicated world. Setting your own agenda. This is the reason we were so desperate to get hold of you. It's very good news. I haven't told him yet.
Stephen, Inquirendo would like to fund your research. Not for the next 3 years, but for the next 5. Business class travel, details of financial arrangements, very generous ones. You booked on a flight first thing tomorrow.
I can't possibly leave first thing.
Excellent. Thank you. It's everything you wanted. It's a wonderful offer, Stephen. For God's sake, will you take it?
Where are you going?
Back to my work. Back to China.
They got to you.
No.
We saw them pick you up. They got to you. What did they do, Stephen? Did they threaten you?
Nobody got to me. They wanted to make sure I was all right. They were more worried about the profile of the project that I've been working on than they were me. I need to get back to my work.
Innocent people are dying.
Hundreds of thousands of them die each year. Millions, I expect.
Yeah, but not in front of your eyes.
I'm not anywhere near any of them.
But if there's something you can do about it...
If you want to blow a whistle, go and find someone who's got one. Newspapers, television.
Well, we've tried. There's no story. The facts just disappear. You saw what happened to Oman and the others.
They had corrupt IDs.
The 20 minutes earlier worked perfectly.
Against handheld readers. A major transport system's always going to have more sophisticated ones. Without a blood sample from a sick man, there's nothing more that can be done. I don't even know that it is the same sickness. I can't find out. I'm out of a job. I have no access. Michael, I'm no use to you.
All those risks that you took. Tracking Yazim down to make sure she was okay. Digging into Kellum and Deloitte. Why would you do all that?
For Yazim. And you. And now you're back together. You don't need me. I did everything I could. I've done all that I can. How's Yazim?
It's difficult, but we'll gather. Do you have any cash? Wouldn't believe the prejudice banks have against dead people.
Say goodbye to her for me.
She prefers to hear from you. Do you know what's so sad? It actually felt good, the idea of working on something with you. Something with a purpose. Like real brothers. Take care.
You too.
And thank you for looking after Yazim. please, sir. That's it, sir. Your keys are the problem. It's your keys. It's a massive cover-up. Drugs companies, aid charities, government organisations, they're all colluding.
It's heavily monitored, checked, regulated. Except when the line broke down.
Yassim, I've got it. I know what's going on. Now call me when you get this message. We've got to see Cooper immediately. Yassim? Yassim?
Stephen! What happened to you? Why did you just go?
What are you doing here?
I'm here to see Cooper. To ask if he can help in any way.
Can you come outside? I need to talk to him, but they won't let me in. What we did, you and me, it means nothing. In all of this, it means nothing, but to us, it means everything.
But I'd never see you again.
I could never leave you. It's a tag at the airport. My keys, they set off an alarm. There must have been a batch of the vaccine that contained a tag. It's an experiment of some kind, an internal tag, nanotechnology. That's what her man and the others set off at the station, and it's an experiment that's gone very wrong. Get Cooper, we need him.
Tell me about my funeral. Come on. Must have been a good one.
I was quite amazed, if truth be told. The crowd. I suppose I must have been imagining my own. But yours was standing room only. Came from all over. And they loved you. I mean, they really, really loved you.
What about you? You know, we were never really blood brothers. I tried to think of one happy memory with you in it. We hated each other. Still do.
I don't hate you.
You slept with my wife, though. You did do that. See, that was something that was bothering me when I came back. You weren't the same. You changed. There had to be a reason why you were desperate to find her. Why you wanted to get involved. It wasn't moral outrage or anger at an injustice.
She wasn't your wife. She was your widow.
When?
After the funeral.
On the same day. On the day of my burial.
Yes.
Anything's gonna happen this time. You think you're gonna get lucky again? Get off me. Stephen here was just telling me about how he got laid the night of my funeral. Is there anything particular you'd like to throw in?
It happened. It's something the three of us are going to have to...
Have to what? Live with? Oh, no, not me. I'm not gonna have to do that. Stay away from me!
Deleting files. Deleting all user data. Shut down.
Just lost Operation Tag Me. Files ate each other. Blood samples of Michael are the only evidence we have now. Michael's vulnerable. He's not in any database that includes the living. If something were to happen to him, it would be very hard to prove anything. We need to get him to somewhere safe, out of this country. He won't go without you.
His ID is a risk. He might still have the tag in him.
Enter the transport system away from a major hub. That way there's less chance of there being a reader. We know what they're willing to do to destroy evidence. You can't hide in this country anymore. We have to protect him. I'll get my ID reinstated. I'll follow. I will find you.
ID, please, sir.
Don't have any.
Can you put your right index finger on here, please?
I don't want to do that.
Then we can iris scan you.
I haven't broken any law. I know who I am, and I don't have to prove that to anyone.
Mr. Stephen Ezard Younes.
Younes? What does Younes mean?
How did you know my name?
There was some data on me. UNAS, what does that mean?
What do you think? The desk facing the window or the wall? It's quite a mess. I thought I'd give you a hand straightening it up.
Operation Tag Me. I know about it.
Trial of a harmless tag that ceases to function after 2 years. The body then flushes it out. No side effects whatsoever.
But the guinea pigs weren't told.
These trials go on all the time, Stephen, all over the world.
Killed 1,000 people and you burnt the bodies. You destroyed the evidence.
Because the real truth, that it was the criminal actions of a few rogue scientists, would never have been heard. Could you imagine the consequences? The hate for generations. The fuel it would have given terrorists. Perhaps even the destruction of sympathetic regimes. Hundreds of thousands could have died if we hadn't acted. Of course, we covered it up. It would have been a criminal act not to have done.
That's what happens when you view a human as less than sacred. When you treat someone as a piece of data, a barcode. When you violate them with internal tags, they become less than human, and you start to imagine the impossible, and then you find yourself doing it.
This is a good government.
What happens when it isn't?
I don't feel violated or less human. Smaller than a grain of rice. That's where mine went in. It's an ID that can't be lost or forged or stolen. Its content and function can be adapted to suit my needs. It can be my credit card, it can be my door key, my car keys. I'll never lose them again. Eventually it'll become universal. Starting at school age, a tag for life. It'll be easy to update. You won't have to keep renewing it. And it won't cost a fortune to enforce. And it'll give back to the honest, ordinary citizen freedom of movement. I thought it'd be a price worth paying. I had to persuade others you were worth it. That you belong on our side. You're the last person we want as an enemy. Has been reinstated. So is access to your bank and all your utilities. You're free to...
UNAS. What does it mean?
It's an unaffiliated subversive. It means access to certain public buildings is denied. So certain forms of transport and communication, you won't be able to leave the country. And your movements and contacts will be monitored. But Stephen, you can go back to doing what you do best. Being a brilliant mathematician. Go back to your old life. You won't even notice the difference. And in a few years, your data can be upgraded.
What have you done to Michael? Yassim?
Stephen, you really must try and move on. Michael died weeks ago. In a landmine accident, and I assume his wife went back home. She'd find it very difficult to come back here. We are tightening up on UK entry.
Home Secretary, I'm sorry to interrupt, but we have to leave.
Of course. Barbara, you know Stephen Ezra, don't you?
Yes. We'll always be grateful for your work on TIA.
A life without distraction. That's all you ever wanted.